I think it's great. I'm just continually amazed by all the folks who take part every year and throughout the year helping Driscoll Children's Hospital, 694-5900. As we've said throughout the month of May, we've been highlighting some miracle kids, kids who without Driscoll might not be with us today, certainly would not have the convenience of having a hospital so close to where they live. And what we're going to do now is meet a little girl named Frida, who is 11 years old, and she unfortunately came down and discovered about a year ago that she had leukemia. Here's her story.
It was kind of scary, I guess.
That was how 11-year-old Frida Olali summed up her thoughts when she found out she had a common form of leukemia called precursor B lymphoblastic leukemia, the most common childhood cancer there is.
I mean, I kind of knew that not all people die from cancer, but I was afraid I was going to be the one that was going to pass from cancer.
And Frida remembered the treatment was tough.
First week was really bad because I couldn't keep anything down that I ate.
For Frida's mother, Linda, the diagnosis was the hardest part.
Right after Easter last year, she started experiencing body pains, extreme body pains, and then we came in to Driscoll Children's, and about a couple of days later, they discovered she had leukemia. It was heartbreaking.
Dr. Manny Esquilin, a pediatric oncologist at Driscoll, says although it was hard, Frida handled the chemo fairly well.
In Frida's case with the leukemia, the abnormal cells cause pain, which was her primary complaint, and also caused her other blood counts to be low, and so she needed blood transfusions and platelet transfusions in order to help her stay alive and get by from day to day.
Esquilin says Frida has had infections and fevers requiring short hospital stays, but has improved over the past year. Frida is back in school, and the hardest part was explaining to her classmates they wouldn't get her disease.
No one has actually come up to me and say, is it contagious? But I've heard people just ask someone else and say, is she contagious?
Frida's mom used to work at MD Anderson and wasn't sure that she wanted her daughter treated in Corpus Christi, but changed her mind.
The attention came from the doctors to the nurses, even the cleaning staff. We got a lot of positive attention. I wouldn't have wanted to be anywhere else. If I had to choose, I would choose to be here.
What's Frida's prognosis?
Fortunately, she went into remission after her first cycle of chemotherapy. It's under control now. We haven't had evidence of leukemia in Frida in several months, and she's been responding very well.
Esquilin says he expects Frida to become a long-time survivor of childhood cancer. And what does Frida think of her treatment?
The doctors were awesome.
How about that? Just one of the miracles that we're highlighting and why we're celebrating here at Schlitterbahn today. With us now is a nurse in the oncology department at Driscoll Children's Hospital. Her name is Lauren. And Lauren, you actually worked with Frida and you work with so many other kids there in the oncology department. Let's talk a little bit about leukemia as an ailment that children have to deal with sometimes now. 10, 20 years ago, it was a different situation for these kids. It was very, very serious. It was often kids did not survive a diagnosis of leukemia, but that's no longer the case.
That's right. Back then when a child was diagnosed with cancer or leukemia specifically, their chances of survival were very slim. And now, thanks to the new technologies and medicines, these kids are surviving, almost practically cured. Just to think about it, 3,000 kids are diagnosed with ALL every year, and over 10,000 kids right now are being treated with chemo with ALL. So, the numbers are staggering, honestly, and, Frida is unfortunately one of those kids, but she's a beautiful young child, so.
She's terrific, and, typically we have the kids join us live and talk about their treatment and so forth. Frida is in Hawaii right now. Tell us about that.
Frida is in Hawaii, living it up in Honolulu right now. She was able to get this opportunity through the Make-A-Wish Foundation, and so every child gets the opportunity. She chose to go to Hawaii. Perfect.
Not a bad choice at all. But the kids are amazing at the oncology department. If you meet some of them, you will be amazed. They are just incredible. The treatments that they put up with, and as I've said here before, you know, children kind of adapt. If they have to go through something that's uncomfortable or even painful, they figure out a way to do it, and their parents and families work with them as well. So it's a beautiful thing to see. But thank you for all the good work you're doing at Driscoll.